Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for, this is your July bonus reading. We're just going to jump right in here. You have this card that says Face the Music, and you have this card that says Give It a Whirl as well. I'm also getting like break a leg, so not literally, but I feel like some of you need to, it's like you could be presenting something to the world, or you could need, it's like time for you to present something to the world. I do feel like this could be like career related or financial. So if you have like some sort of hidden talent, gift, skill, or ability, it could be time to, reveal it to the world. It could also be time for you to try to get something like bigger is what I'm getting. Like maybe you have a regular position at work, and I feel like it's time for you to get like a raise or a promotion. So it might be time to ask for a raise or promotion. And again, as I always say, just based off the astrology for the rest of our lives, right? If you want a raise or promotion, number one, you're going to have to ask for it. You're probably not just going to get one. And if you do, then you're super lucky. And number two, your boss is probably going to say no. So if your boss says no, your job is to say, what do I need to do to get one? If they say, we don't give raises, then you say, okay, well, I don't give work, and you go find something else. You don't do that. What you do is you find something else, and then you tell them that, right? So, again, make sure to do it in the right order. But what I would say is that we are at a time where squeaky wheel gets the grease, as I always say, and like we need to, kind of grease up some wheels in our lives to get things moving. Nothing is just going to happen. Again, that's the time that we're in. I do feel like someone could be facing the music here as well. You have that face the music card. It's almost like someone... someone could have left you out in the cold. I feel like you're over this here. Even at the end in the area of the good stuff, you have the devil and the three of swords, so it's going to be good no matter what. And it looks to me like you're healing from some sort of devil character or someone like this who's cold. So you could have been dealing with a person who's like very cold or who just doesn't open up. Even the Five of Pentacles is a, very cold card. It's being left out in the cold, but it's also like feeling cold. I feel like this person felt like it's like maybe you didn't even know this here, Libra, but I feel like if someone left you recently or in the recent past that, it's like they thought you were better than them, even if they didn't like say that. And, so again, I feel like but I also feel like this is the type of person who, it's like, it's so weird, this energy that I'm getting here. It's almost like they did things that they thought you would do so that you wouldn't do them or something like that. I don't, again, maybe they were always like chatting up other people, right? And it's like they thought you would do that even though you didn't, but they did it because they thought you were doing it even though you didn't. It's like that type of person. It's like this person, I feel like they just constantly shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, like, look, this guy right here, he's got these bandages on his foot. So, I feel like this, and he's got bandages on both. And, he's behind this woman here. So I really feel that for a lot of you, you could have been dealing with a person like that. I also, looking at this here, I feel like saying you're not crazy. Like, see how her glasses are like crazy eyes here, Libra? It's like, I feel like it's like a bunch of, it's like a bunch of little things, that, it's like you could have been dealing with a person and there were a bunch of little things and you're saying, oh no, I'm just, being crazy. You know what I mean? Like worrying about them talking to this person when they're just friends or whatever. I feel like this reading is saying, no, you're not crazy. It's like a bunch of little things usually add up to a big thing. So, if you had that happen in a relationship, I feel that maybe this taught you to like trust your intuition or something like that. I feel like maybe you were holding on to this, but really your first row here, the general energies, it also kind of represents your past energies. So I feel like this is something that you are releasing. It's like you're moving past it here. You even have the King of Cups popping out there, so probably like a much better, I don't take pop-outs, but probably a much better type of person coming in for you. Let's see. And with the King of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Yes, I feel like you're focused on your finances. I immediately, there are no like real financial cards other than this right here. And you do have the Four of Pentacles and King of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, but these three aren't that great. They're just average. Even the King of Pentacles, it's a good card, but it's pretty boring as far as I'm concerned. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what I would say is immediately when I started this reading, I was getting something about your career or, getting a raise or a promotion. So that's what I'd be focusing on if I were you. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Six of Wands. Yeah, definitely, I feel like you had like a victory over this devil character. As I always say, maybe this person wasn't terrible. I don't think that, every single person that we date is a terrible person. So again, I'm not saying that they were like awful, but for the most part, I feel like they could have had some toxic traits. With the Four of Pentacles, yes, this person can't let go of you. Same old story, right? It's like, I feel like you're healing. You've clearly put up some sort of boundary with the Seven of Wands. Maybe you block this person or, something along those lines. And I feel like you just chose not to be this person's supply. I'm not referring to, narcissistic supply either. It's like, I think the whole narcissism thing gets overblown in the first place. It's like, my mom's a psychologist. Not everyone is a narcissist, right? It's like everybody's like, oh, they left me. They're a narcissist. It's like, no, maybe your feet just stunk and they left you. Sorry, hate to be the one to tell you that, but it's like, that doesn't make them a narcissist. So, I think we need to be very careful with our words, especially that one. And we all have narcissistic tendencies, by the way. So it's like everybody is basically a narcissist. But what I would say here is that, again, this person, maybe they got a certain type of energy from you, and that's kind of like why they stuck around. Moving on. Next, in the area, what you need to hear right now, you have this card that says, I connect with the strength and wisdom of my ancestors. You have this card that says, my body knows how to self-heal. I feel like you need to trust yourself. Nine of Cups is even kind of a card of healing. Nine of Cups is a card of bathing in an energy of like what you want. So I always tell people with the Nine of Cups to bathe in the energy of like what you want. Like I always say, my problem with like all these, narcissist videos and stuff on YouTube that I constantly get recommended because I do tarot. What I would say is my problem with it is it's like people just like watch those videos all day long. So it's like you're constantly telling yourself the story of how someone was a narcissist. So whether they were or they weren't doesn't matter, but you're telling yourself a story of narcissism. What do you think you're going to attract? You're going to attract another narcissist, right? Even if they are, right? So I always tell people, it's like, stop telling those stories. That's why I don't read about exes and things like that, because when you do that, again, I'm not criticizing it at all. I don't care what other readers do or anything like that, but it's like when you listen to that, it's like, what is a story that you're telling yourself? You are focusing on exactly what you don't want. So it's like, why focus on that? I'd rather focus on, building the best life, making myself stronger in every single way. I'm talking about you, not me. And, being better. It's like, how do you think you're going to attract a better person? Making yourself better, plain and simple. So I kind of feel like that's what this is talking about. Not just in love either. I'm talking about like financially, in business, pretty much everything. You have the Nine of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. Again, some of you might feel bad about this. I wouldn't feel bad about this. Like if you blocked a person, I wouldn't feel bad about blocking a person, just for the most part is what I would say here. It's like, here's my thing. It's like if a person is, this is what I always think of, right? After a breakup, it's like if a person knows that if they leave you, there's like a chance that they could lose you forever, right? It's like, then they're taking that chance. It's like they are taking the chance to lose you. So I always block their ass. Every time I've not blocked a person, I regret it after because they always come back. They always like want to talk about something. Then I always get hurt all over again, right? So it's like what I would say here is I would block a person. They took the chance. They are saying, my life is better without you. Basically, that's what someone is saying when they break up with you. So I always suggest blocking exes. I don't think it's low vibe. I don't think there's anything wrong with setting the boundary because, because it is what it is. You have to live your life. And again, it's like, I don't care what anyone says. Everybody loves to tell me these stories about how they're the best friends with their exes. And I'm always like, okay, pull out your phone right now and text them and tell them that you're super, what, something is happening in your nether regions, right? And you want them to come over and take care of it. I guarantee you their ass will be in your driveway in 5 minutes. I don't care if they live 2 hours away. They are going to be right over at your house in minutes, right? Guarantee it. So no, someone always wants more. I don't care what anyone says. Again, I said it to Cancer. This isn't Barney, right? This is Tough Love with Steve is what this tarot channel is now going to be called, not Chris, right? I don't even know who Chris is anymore. So again, like I said, I think that putting up the boundary, rant over, I don't know where I was going with that. Rant over, again, sometimes you need to put up the boundary. You have the King of Pentacles here. Again, King of Pentacles, kind of a boring financial card to me because he represents convention, the way things have always been done. What I would say is that for you, I would like stick to what works, just going up to the sun here. So if you're doing something like work or business, or if you're trying to grow a business or something like that, I kind of feel you could actually doing what works, doing the normal stuff. It would be a good idea. I keep telling people that I think we're in a time of like the 80-20 rule, but not even the 80-20 rule, but my 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the time in like work or business, do what has always worked. 20% of the time, if you have like new crazy ideas on how to grow your business or anything like that, like experiment, right? Next, you have the Nine of Cups here. Definitely some sort of wish. And again, I feel like you need to be very careful with your story. Like I said, we've been talking about this. I would be bathing in the energy of what you want and telling yourself the story that you want over and over and over again. I really think there's something to this. Like, this message started coming up for people, like, once Uranus went into Taurus. And I don't know. I think that because Uranus and Taurus has a lot to do with values, we have Jupiter in Taurus now as well, has a lot to do with, like, values and things that you value. Part of me wonders if that is kind of like what's encouraging people to focus on the story that they tell about themselves. So, again, make sure to do that. Plain and simple. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. I feel like there probably is new love coming in for you if you want it. Again, it doesn't seem like a major focus for you here, Libra, so it might be one of those things where, if it comes in, great, but, you might be, again, focused on your own fulfillment. The Ace of Cups fulfills itself. It can reach down into that water below it, and it can fill itself up. So, I also encourage people at this time to focus on fulfilling activities. Like, if there are things that you do that fill you with energy, then I would do those things, and like more of those things, whatever it is. Let's see here. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Page of Swords. Yes, this person is still spying. I would just, it's like maybe they have fake accounts or, whatever the case may be. I would just, keep them blocked, plain and simple. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, exactly. It's almost like this reading is just encouraging you to focus on your own stability, because that's what will lead to the sun, your happiness and joy and enlightenment and good things. So I would kind of like focus on yourself. As I always say, like, again, I think it is the best time ever. Like, the next 20 years is an amazing time to work on being the best version of yourself. As cliche as that sounds, that's the only thing I would focus on. Everything else will follow, whatever you want: love, business, money, spirituality, whatever. You have this Mirror card. It says, who or what is triggering you? This is showing up in the unexpected. Again, I would be careful of this person if it's a past person. We have Venus going retrograde on the 22nd of July, so I would be careful. You have this take a break, a life's work. It says, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Yeah, there is pretty much, it's weird. Every single one of these decks here has, the Oracle decks that I use has like a card about taking a break or something. And pretty much every single person this month, even in the just regular monthly readings I did, had something about needing to take a break. So, if you need to like take some recovery time for yourself or some time to heal or whatever, I would definitely do that. And again, the life's work part, again, with Pluto and Aquarius, I think Pluto and Aquarius is an amazing time to have a North Star, to have some sort of, I wouldn't really call it necessarily a life purpose, but, something that you work towards, like a worthwhile goal, a worthy achievement, something that would make you very proud, something that could be inspirational as well. It could be something very simple. Again, I think the problem with life purpose, like, is number one, what the F does that mean, right? What does life purpose even mean? And, it's like too big. I think people should, it's like maybe you want to go to college and you want to graduate college, like go and do it, like set out to do it. And that's enough. That is good enough. I think people think they have to do these big, huge, crazy things, but really I think it's the small things that matter. You have the Four of Swords, the Temperance card, and the Queen of Cups here. The Four of Swords, a card of recovery. So your very first card, that take a break card, and then you have the Four of Swords. Definitely would be a good time to take a break. By the way, I don't really feel like there's anything unexpected coming in for you. I label these rows, but as I always say, I'm a free flow reader. Like, whatever comes up, comes up. So, if I don't feel like there's anything unexpected, I just say it. And I don't think there's anything unexpected coming up. You have the Temperance card. This is a card of patience. Could be a Sagittarius coming in for you. If you're looking for love, again, you always get fire with me, so doesn't really surprise me. Could also just be a person who has fire in their chart, plain and simple. But, again, on top of that, I feel like you're really working on your situation. Temperance, to me, can be like a card of perfection. He's like trying to turn water into wine. It's a card of alchemy, but he could also kind of be, like perfecting the process. He's trying to figure out how to turn water into wine, and he's trying to make it a process so that he can repeat it, right? And that's popping into my head. It's like, for some of you, I feel like you're trying to repeat something that can bring happiness. And again, I think this is a good thing. It's like, maybe you're realizing that certain achievements bring you a lot of fulfillment. Do more of them and turn it into a process, right? I feel like that would make you feel very successful. I feel like it would make you feel like you're growing and like all this other stuff. It'll just like feel good. Again, I always say, like, I was stuck for 4 years of my life. I basically did nothing, which isn't totally true. I learned a lot during that time. I educated myself. I tried to launch a bunch of businesses during that time. Every single one failed, right? but I never really got anywhere. Like after that time, I started this channel, number one, that's like the first thing. But then I started breaking things down into quarters where it's like every single quarter I tried to achieve something, like some sort of goal that I came up with, and just like something, you know, small, whatever. And I still do it to this day. And again, it still feels good. It's like I know every single time I accomplish something that I have to overcome, it's going to feel good. It's like a reward. And I feel like maybe some of you need to like do that, like try to accomplish something over the next 3 months, something that would normally take you a year, right? And that might sound impossible, but then you do it. So and then you take what you could do in 3 months and you do it in like a week, right? So it's like these things are possible. I've done it. And again, I'm not even saying this to brag. Like I always say, I fell on my head when I was 10 years old. I'm dumb. And like I think people don't realize, like I have to read things 900 times to even get it to sink in. I have to make every single mistake I make at least twice, sometimes more. So it's like if I can do it, you can definitely do it. You have unless you also fell on your head when you were 10 years old, then sorry. You have the Queen of Cups, but again, I feel like the Queen of Cups is saying follow your heart. We're in a heart-based time. I think everybody needs to like follow their heart, what their heart is telling them to do. Ace of Cups, basically, you have the Ace of Cups here. With the Four of Swords, you have the Three of Swords. Some of you definitely need to heal from this heartbreak or this separation. It's kind of weird because for some of you, I feel like you're saying you would never go back to this person, but it's still, maybe you're still thinking about it. For some of you, I feel like it's been over a year. Like I'm getting like 13 months. I don't trust psychic timing at all, but you know, I'm getting like 13 months. Maybe it's been like a year and a month, basically. But it's like you still think of this person even though you wouldn't go back. I don't know. I feel like you're just healing from it. With the Temperance card, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, moving on to calmer shores, improvements, definitely improving things in your life. With the Queen of Cups, what do you know? You have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, again, this reading is really focusing here. Like the whole entire reading, I feel, is kind of focusing on you. You know, there is love here, but I really feel it's talking about, you know, finding something that can bring fulfillment. This could be like setting a goal and achieving it. It could be something tiny. Maybe you want to learn how to, you know, jump rope or something like that. I don't care. That sounds ridiculous. But again, I encourage people. It's like I had to start small. I always say, like, the first thing I did was I started going for walks during that 4 years. Right after the 4 years, I should say, when it ended. And that really pulled me out of a dark place. So, you know, I started very small. Then I started adding other like little wins on top of that. And, you know, so whatever makes you feel good, I would do it. Next, in the for the good stuff, you have this card that says Star Brothers. It says protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. You have this Fall Into My Arms card. It says surrender, holding the opposites, extremes in life. So I feel for some of you, there definitely could be like a Star Brother, Star Sister coming in for you here as far as love is concerned. I do feel like this is love. So, and I would say it's someone who's like healed. I feel like it's someone who, I have like a weird word popping into my head. It's like someone who's been baptized. Like you see this person that's dropping into water here. I'm not suggesting that they've been, you know, baptized, but I feel like they've gone through something that is kind of, you know, it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like they've been tuned to your energy, or maybe they've been attuned. Like maybe they've gone through an awakening, like they've done like Reiki or like Reiki training or something, or maybe you have. I don't know, something weird like that is popping into my head. One thing I will say, if you don't know, is I don't know, Reiki is popping into my head, by the way, for some weird reason. If you have recently gone through like Reiki training or something, I think sometimes what people don't realize is sometimes you can go through a lot after like getting attuned for Reiki because you're like raising your vibration. So sometimes like after Reiki training, people go through something difficult. I feel like if you've recently done that, you're getting through it. It's like I wouldn't worry if like weird things are happening, or you know, if you feel like you're being tested or whatever. Maybe you are, but I don't know. It's popping into my head. There you go. You have the Sun, the Devil, and the Three of Swords. Again, I feel like you're finally healing from this because, again, this is coming up in the good stuff. There might be some forgiveness that needs to happen here, is what I would say to you, Libra. So maybe you need to like write a personal letter. You don't even have to send it, right? Maybe you just have to get everything out on paper and then burn it, or, you know, do whatever. I don't know. It's popping into my head. You have the Devil. Very interesting. I feel like this is your new person. It's like the both of you were attached to like devil situations. But I feel it's coming up in the good stuff again. And it's like both of you have done the work, and you're both, I got that word like tuned. It's almost like you're both energetically tuned for each other. It's kind of weird as well, because I feel like maybe why is this important, right? This is always the question I ask with the things that I get. Like, why is it important? And maybe because people are like, what the hell are you doing with this person, right? Like this new person that you meet. It's like people might think you're an odd couple or something like that, but I don't know. If it works, it works, right? Who cares? You have the Sun. So definitely a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you here at this time, Libra. So I see a lot of good stuff coming up for you, but let's see. With the Sun, you have the King of Pentacles here. So definitely like a permanent connection. If you're looking for love, could be something permanent. Could be an earth sign as well. You have a lot of earth showing up here. Could be a Capricorn. Take it how it resonates, but looks good. With the devil, you have the Six of Cups. I love it. You have two sixes here. Two sixes to me is confirmation for your path. It says basically you're going in the right direction. You're doing the right things that you need to be doing to get to where you're going. So very good. And with the Three of Swords, you have the Three of Wands, card of expansion. You're leaving behind the Three of Swords. You're stepping into an expansive, like, new beginning. So, love it, Libra. This is a very good reading. A lot of good stuff coming up here for you. So, love it. But let's see where this is going. We're pulling 5 main themes with the Kipper now. You have this marriage card. There you go. Definitely, I feel like you could be meeting, like, a divine counterpart or someone who is definitely a very good person. I'm hearing like third time's a charm. Hopefully you're not getting married for a third time, but there you go. You have this concerns card. I would be careful if you are meeting a person. I would be careful of what other people say. Here, everybody gets this right now. I mean, just in the astrology in general, I think if anything is going to ruin anything for us, not even just love, but like if we have a business idea or whatever, it's going to be other people or family. So again, it doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to them or whatever, but I would be careful. You have this poverty card. Yes, someone is, again, everybody's had this poverty card, which is crazy. But you have this despair card. I feel like this is how your ex feels or a past person feels right here, is like they feel totally lost, like they're totally left out in the cold, like I said, with that Five of Pentacles. But I feel like this person shoots themselves in the foot. Like I said, I feel like it's like they do things on it's almost like they can't help themselves but to mess everything up. They're like that type of person. You have this Lovers card, so I mean, yeah, definitely love could be coming in for you. You have this Courthouse card as well. I'm hearing like something's being set in stone or something like that. It's almost like, I feel like this has nothing to do with court. I feel like you're agreeing to something, but like with the universe, you're like, okay, I'm going to, go on this journey. I feel like it's a big part of you. Again, if you're like accomplishing some sort of goal, like a big goal, like I said at the beginning of the reading or something like that, it's almost like you're agreeing to it with the universe. You could be doing this in like your dreams, like while you sleep or something. You could be waking up tired, I'm getting on this card as well. And it's like, I feel like if that is the case, if you're like sleeping for like 10 hours, but you're waking up super tired, I feel like you're doing like a lot of work in the dream world, that type of thing. But this looks pretty good. I like where this is going. Again, I would focus on yourself. Make yourself the best version of yourself, plain and simple. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.